It's every new beginning.
What we do here
Really represents how to begin again, how to wake up each morning and have it be a brand new day. And you go, gratitude. You go to the heart of gratitude and being so grateful to fill the body with gratitude. And I fully love and accept myself, and I have a hurt ankle. Even though I have this hurt ankle, I fully love and accept myself. And the ankle or the foot, plantar fasciitis is so common. And sometimes whatever we have is trying to tell us or give us a message. And whenever anything is in the lower body, it's first chakra. So breathe in this understanding of earth, the first chakra. Now, those of us that are super sensitive, highly sensitive people, which I expect that all of the people that pretty much come onto this, into this yoga class are that way, that we do take on the earth. We can feel the collective, whether it be the earth or the beings on the earth. And the earth and the beings on the earth, all beings, it's really shook up right now. And there's a lot of kind of existential threats, so that our first chakra of survival, of being on the earth, of grounding and being part of the earth, is on high alert. And that what I sent you the other day, I brought it to the mat today because I thought, wow, it was so powerful. A gentle reminder about why you are or may be exhausted. And you can kind of think about a gentle reminder of why your body might hurt in various ways, or your digestion doesn't work, or whatever it is that has agitated the physical aspect of ourselves. And remember that we're 80% of the other, of the non-physical. But that 20% physical is like the solidity that our brain tells us that why we exist is in this place of this physical place, even though we're spiritual beings having a physical experience. No one I know began this year on a full tank. Given the vicious onslaught of the previous 2 years, let's just call it what it is. Most of us dragged ourselves across the finish line in 2021, frazzled, spent, running on an aged adrenaline fume. We crawled into 2022 still carrying the shock, trauma, grief, heaviness, disbelief, the memories of a surreal existence. And then it began, the fastest hurricane year we could ever imagine. Whether we have consciously processed it or not, this has been a year of more pressure, more stress, and a race to catch up in all departments, every single one: work, school, sports, relationships, life. Though not intentionally aware, perhaps hopeful that the busier we are, the more readily we will forget, the more easily we'll undo the emotional tangle, the more permanently we will wipe away the scarring wounds. But we can't. And that's the first part of this piece that Naomi Holt wrote. She's a psychologist and educator and speaker. So our bodies take it on. At the same time, we're in an age group where the body has really done a lot of work. The physical realm has taken a lot of work throughout the years that we've been in what we call alive. And so we want to honor our wisdom years. These are wisdom. We are wise women that come together here. Breathe gratitude through the heart. The wisdom here is that we know, scientifically proven through the understanding of the physicality and the energy systems and the non-physical, that when we breathe this gratitude and we fill the heart with gratitude, we let it touch the brain. The brain from where we used to, we thought everything came from the brain. No. The brain, the heart, and the gut are all part of the same intricate connection of all of the nervous system that runs the whole body and creates the biochemistry that will give us peace, calm, and gentleness, or agitation and stress. And that's when the digestive system goes, whoa, what happened? What did you do to me? You got so stressed, I can't digest. So we're working with that, and we're working with the trauma and healing the trauma, not only from these last couple years, but from the very beginning of our own personal physical life, being born, and then the lineage. And we know now that there's no separation. So breathe gratitude. Wow. I'm so grateful that I've given this chance to be in the body. I'm embodied. I'm embodied light. Okay, light, yay for our light. Yay to be embodied light. Okay, and what is my journey on the planet but to spread the light? And how do I stumble? How do I stumble? By being given the physical experience that is filled with multitudes of emotion, of feelings, of physical illnesses, of godding, the universe moving through us. We perhaps as humanity are feeling the illnesses of the planet. We're in a time where humanity is not going to be separate from the planet ever, and the planet is having a hard time. So here we are, and we're minuscule when we look at the universe. And every night I've been going out and I've been seeing Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn, and the clear skies that we're having here right now, giving us a sparkly star-filled night of all of my favorite constellations. And I go, wow, I am so small. And how could anybody think that we're not affected by our galaxy? It's not even far out there in the universe. So take a deep breath in and bring your hands to your heart and your thumbs to the heart. And remember that you are white light coming from the understanding of the electromagnetic spectrum. And the only way we see what we see is because of this little tiny part of that spectrum. The spectrum is huge. And we are just a dot on that electromagnetic spectrum. And remember, electromagnetic is what we are. Red, orange, yellow, green, light blue, dark blue, indigo. Indigo is the dark blue, and violet. Then bring the thumbs to the third eye and know that we're expanding ourselves through this third eye, through expanding the pineal, pituitary, hypothalamus, and hippocampus, the centers of the brain, the control centers that we're still learning about, and we're working to expand those centers, really actually physically expand them by bringing in imagination, inspiration, intuition, and integration. Those 4 expanded sensory perceptions, within them are many more perceptions. We used to call it the sixth sense, ESP, extrasensory perception. Now we know so much more about that. Then tap the top of your head. You've done this a million times, but we're starting out on the floor. Reach the arms out into V position and the legs into V position. And imagine at the belly button, you're able to bring down the upper chakras and bring up the lower chakras and bring them out of the power center that is your sun, the power center of the third chakra, which is a crystalline sun. You can imagine it like a sun now rather than a vortex. You can also imagine all of this going outside your body, above you, below you, and all around you, lower, below you, down into the earth, up into the universe. You are that big. You're not this little tiny physical body. Then bring the arms down by your sides and bring your feet on the floor. And as you bring your feet on the floor, feel what the feet feel like in this position. And take the toes and just squeeze them in, and then keep them squeezed and just put the toes back onto the floor. You can barely see what I'm doing perhaps, but I'm just bringing my toes in and just feeling just my lower foot. And then relax them. See if you could spread the toes right there, right where you are with the feet flat on the floor. Find this breath and then drop the knees side to side. Inhale, exhale on the other side. Now, as you do, start with noticing what's going on in the lower body. Inhale, exhale, as you're dropping the knees to one side, dropping the knees to the other side. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And just notice when you're being gentle with your body, do you feel any tightness or do you just feel fluidity? Do you feel anything that is hurting? And we've taken the weight of the body off of the feet, where we're holding up the whole rest of the body, and gravity is pulling the whole weight of the body over 100 pounds down into the earth. So here we're spreading the weight out as we're on the floor. And then bring the feet flat on the floor, and just see how this feels to go. Let me see where that chair is. To inhale up. We've done this a lot. Exhale down. Inhale up. Now, if any part of your body says, no, I don't want any movement today, remember a cushion or a block, and you just put it under the sacrum. And this is restorative yoga. Now, your feet are pretty free here. Here, you're actually feeling the feet, and those of you and those that may have an ankle that is little acting up or speaking to you, you might ask right now, is anything going on while I do yoga? Or is it when I put the weight of the body on that foot? Inhale up, exhale down. And then if you want, you can inhale up and hold the breath. Hold it, and then ready, and exhale slowly come down, and just slow the whole thing down. Notice how different it is, and notice if either one of your feet want to come off the floor, and if you're feeling the feet equally on the floor, or do you feel one foot maybe goes onto the heel? I have one foot. I can feel that my right foot presses into the floor more deeply than the left, and then the foot, I can see that there's a total difference between the 2 feet by just doing this. Slow inhale and then exhale. The next time you come up, you hold the posture, and you're going to feel this a little bit more. And press into the pelvis if you want. And again, if you're doing restorative yoga, just put that block underneath. You might put the feet up into the air. And we'll do that today anyway, at the end of the class. This is for my strengthening of my core, which I need to do. And then hold the posture for a moment. Come up onto the toes and feel that too. Is this good for your feet? Is it good for your ankle? Does it hurt? If it's not hurt, do you just feel it like something's different on one side? And then lower yourself down, lengthen the legs out, slide those feet along the floor, then reach with the heels, so you're flexing your feet, reach with the hands or the heels of the hands. So you're stretching the arms. Take a deep breath in, hold the breath. Oh, and feel the stretch up the core, up the very center of the body. Feel side to side. You can wiggle the pelvis a little. And then let it go with a sigh. Then feet flat on the floor. And again, just a few core strengtheners, because a lot of what happens to our lower body is because our upper body isn't holding the body up, pulling up from the core to lessen the weight on the pelvis and the legs. So that's really the science behind it. And so hands behind the head. If this works for you, press into the lower back. Now you can put the feet flat on the floor. Exhale as you come up. Then if you want, you can bring the feet off the floor, bending the knees or lengthening the legs out, or just having a bent knee. And go at your own pace. And then hold. I'm always better if I do this, 3 times a week. If I don't do any core, then I feel like it's harder. So then pull the knees in, take a deep breath in. Feel the lower back here as you roll the knees in a circle. Relax the feet, but you may notice that one foot doesn't naturally relax as much as the other one. Maybe you can sense and feel the bottoms of your feet, even though they're not touching the floor. So take your consciousness down to your feet and just notice as you go one direction and then the other. Then back to the floor and knee to elbow. So remember, gentle is just tap each knee. Exhale on each side. Gentle, elbow up, and exhale. I like to blow out. It was a little different. And you can go at your own pace. You can bring the feet off the floor. And you can lengthen out one leg. And you can hold one ankle and lower one leg and hold and lower. So each of these is a different level of working with the same posture. Then hold one side. Take a breath. Hold on the other side. Breath. And then back to center, pull the knees in. Open the legs wide, pull the knees in, roll the ankles, point and flex the feet, wiggle the toes. And you might notice one foot very different than the other. Then feet up in the air, catch the pants legs, catch the ankles, catch the feet. Whatever you want there. Happy baby. This changes the positioning of all of that leg, stretches the inner thighs, really works on how do I feel in each of these positions? What part of my lower body is holding me up? What part is stiff? What part has a twinge? Where is it that happening? The feet, shake them out, shake everything out. Really shake it out. Then roll again and notice in this position, what's going on? If you've ever had a broken toe, it's kind of with you forever. And how you walk and how you use your feet is usually changed by that broken toe. And then pull the knees in, bring the head up to the knees and the hands down to the feet. It's another little thing for the feet. Notice if your hands are down at the feet, notice if your feet are cold or warm. Notice if this posture feels good. You can have your hands at your knees, behind your knees, in front of your knees, the shins. Then 5-pointed sky. Can you notice that one side, maybe one side of the body is larger than the other? Can you notice that one foot is turned out more when you're in this position? One foot maybe flops to the side a little bit more. Back to the feet on the floor. And let's just do a spinal twist before we do this. So spinal twist, gentle, moderate, or vigorous. Gentle is just flop the knees over, head goes over. Moderate is feet, knees, and thighs on top of each other. Vigorous is cross the right leg over the left. Let that right leg pull them down and your head turns, your shoulders stay on the floor. Now you can always use blocks, whatever you do, you can use a block. Makes it even most gentle by putting the block between your knees and turning head to the side. What does your consciousness tell you to do? Any one day will be different. Maybe today is, okay, I'm going to do vigorous. I don't know how it's going to feel. When I do this, I can feel it all in my right hip, and I'm going, my brain is asking me a question. How do you feel? Is this a good thing? Can you relax? If you're holding up and you can't relax, then you want to do some other piece, like bring the knees, feet, and thighs on top of each other. If you can't relax and you're holding, then it may not be doing as good as you might want. Then other side, knees to the side, head opposite, block between the knees or not. Knees, feet, or thighs on top of each other. Look to the side. Breathing, feeling the twist. But notice feet, knee, hip, ankle. Hip, knee, and ankle are so important to have in alignment. And most of us have to be trained to have it in alignment. It's a very rare person that is aligned. And then back to center. Okay. Then find your strap. And bring the right foot up into the strap. And first it's active isolated stretching. And almost every stretch you do, what they've learned is that, especially the hamstrings, the quads, the ankles, these places that are like so overused, and we use them so much in so many different ways, with the pull of gravity changing how we sit, how we stand, where we put our feet, whether our feet are on the floor, whether they're crossing our ankle over, our leg, crossing our legs. So active isolated stretching has said, let's retrain it to be in alignment. So that's what we're doing. And then hold for a moment. You can hold with one hand or two. However you do this, you work with the strap that you have. I like the loop strap with a little D-ring, because I can put my hand right in all sorts of ways. I can really adjust it easily. Have a block ready again so that you can use it in this leg stretch series if you want. And just flex the foot and see what happens. Now, notice when you lower your leg down, and then see where it feels right for you to bring it up. Now, you can also work with, where is that strap on the ball of your foot? Is it on the ball of the foot? Is it, do you have it on your arch? The ball of the foot is recommended. And you just breathe into it. Now you can do the same posture lying on a wall. I'm lying down and putting your leg on a wall. Then lengthening out your left leg and bringing the right leg down. And I'm putting a block under mine so it doesn't go too far. You don't want to roll over to the side. So you want your pelvis flat on the floor with this series, and you bring your leg down, and you see if you want to support the leg either with a flat block or putting it at an angle or putting it on the tip, or maybe your foot goes to a couch. If you're in your living room, you can put your foot on a couch. How far to the side, and how does it feel to do this kind of stretch? Elbow into the floor. The bicep is working here. You can hold the strap with two hands or one hand. You can decide how much support you need. The block for me actually helps me relax it a little bit more. I used to never use equipment, and now in my graceful aging, I use equipment. Then bring the leg up and take that block and put it between the legs. Again, you have a lot of choices here, but when you do this, you're just noticing what's going down all the way down the side of your leg. You know, it's not necessarily the foot that's causing issues. It could be the whole leg. Notice if when you're looking at your foot, whether it's twisted or not. So you want to try to get hip, knee, and ankle in alignment. Now this posture is, pretty hard. This leg has something weird in the stimulation when I do this posture. So I have to keep it up higher. And so the block is gonna help me there. A chair can also help. You can put your foot on a chair. And then I'm not going to stay here very long because of that. And again, you don't want to bring it all the way over and roll over onto that left hip. You want to just bring it over, and for some of us, it's a good stretch. Then the left foot comes down on the floor, the right foot comes over. You use the strap either between the legs, or you put your foot on a block or two, or on a chair or a wall, or you pull that knee in and you stretch from there, or the hands go under. This is thread the needle, so you've got lots of options. Or if you've got the flexibility, the hands are on top of that left knee, right ankles over the knee. Your shoulders pull forward, your head does whatever it does, either the back of the head, or it pulls forward a little bit, and your head tilts back. It all is good for the neck and the shoulders. Your wrists are being stretched as well if you're lacing your fingers. Now the final piece here is decide whether you want to pull that knee in and lengthen out the leg and lift the head or not. The head can be on a cushion. And here, inhale and exhale. Release it, then release it and just pause for a moment. Don't do anything and feel it. Now feel the difference between the right leg and the left. Before we pick up the strap, find the strap, untangle it from your body, and put it up into that left foot. Now when I then put my right foot on the floor, I go, wow, that's a really nice feeling for that right leg. So that's what we're doing here. We're really trying to understand what is going to help our legs. Then active isolated stretching. Breathing. And here, still, whatever we're doing with the strap on the foot, and you're trying to look at hip, knee, and ankle, and alignment, and the stretch of the hamstrings, because it could be up the peroneus muscle, or the the shin muscles, oh gosh, it's going to go out of my mind right now, the anterior tibialis anterior or posterior. Any one of them can be causing a little turn in the foot, a little tightness in a ligament or a muscle or fascia. It's really all fascia. Then hold for a moment and see what happens. Now see if you feel the difference between one leg and the other. And if you have worked with your foot or ankle on one side or the other, and you're trying to evaluate, oh yeah, how different I am on right side and left side. And there's a tremendous amount of spiritual literature written about, different ways of looking at of the left and right, and the right and left brain, and how we were taught to be more analytical and less emotional, and less creative, and more that analytical, learning to do what we needed to do and make decision and solving problems, but from a left brain point of view, intellectual. There's a lot written about that, and it can affect the whole body. So here we are. Feel it. Decide what you're going to do with your hands. Notice where you're tight. Work that a little bit on that ankle, press into that ankle, just working it, feeling it, being with it. Breathing into it, keep breathing. And then know that this is your foundation. The legs hold everything. You can ask, if this leg could speak, or if the ankle could speak, what would it say? And the longer you stay with those questions of asking your body, what would you say? What do you say to me? What are you telling me? The more, sometimes you go back in time and you can tell where not the injury physically, but some injury emotionally or spiritually that caused this to happen. Lengthen out the right leg, and again, have the block ready if you want. You're going to bring your leg to the side, the left side. You're going to hold with one hand or two hands. You're going to feel the inner thigh open up here, and you're going to feel that connection up into the pelvis of working with the adductors, this adductor muscle. And you're remembering also that you are working with fascia. Fascia is the quantum field inside our body. Fascia is around every single cell and every organelle. And the organelles and the cells are like little earths. So imagine the fabric of time-space that is inside and outside our body and all around. And you could name that as God or the great mystery. Whatever word you have, the unmanifested presence, it's all one thing. And so it's in your body. So if the earth is tightened, dealing with climate change, if the humanity is tight, dealing with war and peace, dealing with survival, then maybe our bodies are just responding to that in all these different ways. And this lower body is the foundation. It's what is the survival. It's it's walking the earth. It's the red color. Then bring that leg up, take the block. Oops, if you've got a block, and put it between the knees if you want that. Otherwise, you can just have that block out of there. You don't have to. Or your foot could be on a chair, against a couch. And then see if your foot turns a little bit, bring it back into alignment to hip, knee, and ankle. And just see if your strap is going to be on the ball of your foot and not on your arch. Just see. And then see what's going on down the left side of your leg and how far down it goes. You might be working with here at the lower leg, what's called the peroneus muscle that again has tendons and ligaments and all of that. They all have that. And the fascia might be tight. So you're exploring. And then bring that leg up, cross the ankle over, take out the strap or use it as a lengthening, lace the finger behind that knee and head there, head tilts back or head is flat, or you can be on a cushion. Shoulders pull forward, wrists are stretched, shoulders are stretched. And you might feel it wherever you've got injuries or whatever is tight. And then you can ask any part of your body, if you could speak, what would you say? A lot of times the body will tell you to slow down. And then I sometimes have to ask, how slow do you want me to go? And I think to really slow down, I see myself in a warm place at a retreat center. It feels like the only way to really, really slow down. Then if you want, catch the foot and the knee and lengthen out the right leg, and you can do a little quad strengthening and point and flex and breathe. Whew. Then hold for a moment and then release and release, and notice both sides. Just pause for a moment. Take a breath. Let it go with a sigh. And roll over just to come up and feel it onto hands and knees. Just a little luxuriating in the movement of the spine. Remembering that moving the spine, again, you might find little kinks in the spine somewhere. You might have areas in the spine that is a little funky, especially if you carry a little bit of scoliosis. Wherever that little curve in the spine is going to be a little unusual. And then hold one direction. Breath. Hold the other direction. Breath. Tuck the toes. Now, when you do this, we're not going to come right up. We're going to stretch the feet. So forward and back. And if you were on a chair, if you ever wanted to, just, tucking the toes and stretching the feet, standing, seated, lying down, or on your hands and knees, you tuck the toes. Now, some people can go all the way back and they can sit on their feet. Now, I can't do that anymore because of my knee, but it's not because of the toes. But coming back and holding for a moment, and if it gets cramped, remember, you can't do it if it's going to get cramped. Point those toes, and you could point the toes and just do a little shaking of them out. And you can go back and do gentle, just be super gentle, especially if you're working with cramping. And sometimes my feet will cramp. Then press into the feet and come up, heel walk. Again, backs of the legs. See what happens when you bend your knees and push your hands, your head through your hands, your arms, or stretch back from those bent knees. Breath on each side. Then walk your feet forward, bending the knees. Release the hands and do a ragdoll, or come up onto the elbows or up onto the hands. Feel the lower spine. Then bend the knees, bring yourself up. Feel the firmness of the feet bringing you up. Press into those feet, come a little bit back and to the heart. Inhale and exhale. Shake out the legs. Shake out those feet. And while you're standing, point the toe and stretch the foot. Now, some people need to hold on to a wall for this, and just that would give you, so you're not putting any pressure on that foot. You're just trying to get another way of working with the foot, other side, and watching the ankle at the same time. How does that ankle work when you put a gentle pressure on it? And if it's not good for you at all, then don't do it. You really have to read your own body. At the same time, you want to let go. Oh, okay. What's happening? What is it that I can do to work with this? Stretching the front of the foot like this is a lot different. This foot wants to turn out. See, that's my right foot. And this is the left has got the knee brace on. It's kind of interesting. So looking at the right and the left. And you just keep doing that. You don't have to do big stretches. You can hold it if it feels good to hold it. Now you can do this sitting on a chair too. You cross the ankle and you work the foot. and you can work out the foot. You can pull each toe too. So if you want to join me on the chair, you can also do this sitting down, but on a chair, really nice. And at the same time, I'm stretching the left hip and I'm working the foot. And you can work the foot both ways. You're really doing self-massage. Now remember, the feet have all the meridian endings in them. So working on the feet, and with massage oil or something like that, even better. Change sides. We're just going to do a little because I'm just introducing you to this idea. So self-massage is always a thing. I once taught a course which was yoga and massage, and we learned a lot of self-massage. And then back up, dropping your chin to your chest and coming back down to the floor. Now you don't need to come down to the floor, but we're going to come down and I'm going to get ready for Recline Goddess. Recline Goddess, I'm going to remind you that you can do this with or without equipment, but I'm going to show you first. We're going to come down and do cerebral spinal fluid balancer, but look at what the feet have to do. Now, one of the things I learned yesterday from taking a walk with my friend is the study of bone health and how you walk from the heel to the toe, which is, meditation walking is always heel to toe and watch what's happening. And we tend to not think about our feet like that. We don't think about how we're walking, but to really feel the heel. And the heel is what takes the energy up the leg and creates the bone, or creates the strength of the bone. Here, what I feel is that my toes aren't doing anything. It's really pushing off from the heel. But what I'm doing is this really amazing thing for my whole spine. And I'm really, because I know what's going on, it's working with the cerebral spinal fluid, which is what the osteopathic manipulative therapy works with, is that cerebral spinal fluid. And a very sensitive practitioner can feel the kinks in that fluid, and they can readjust it. And then slow that down. What we're going to do here is Recline Goddess. You can do it without any equipment by putting the soles of the feet together and bringing your arms out to the side. You can do it with the equipment, either cushions, bolsters, whatever you have available. And you can come down, you can take the blocks and set yourself up here. And the reason we're doing this is because this really helps the sacroiliac joint. And it helps this area where we have sciatica. The sciatic nerve comes out from the spine and goes down each of the legs, and it goes through beneath the gluteus maximus. It goes through the piriformis muscle, which is a combination of 3 to 4 muscles that can tighten up, and then it will bring pain down the whole leg, usually down the side of the leg, or kind of towards the back side. But it can present itself in a variety of places. So this posture, with or without the blocks or cushions, will help that area, will help that piriformis muscle be loose. So closing with this posture, or closing with legs up the wall, that would be good too. But we're here at the closing time. Breathe, relax, and feel. And this is what came in this morning in one of the things I get. The point of your path on the planet is the firmness of the ground beneath your feet, the support you feel from one moment to the next, the places to rest, and the passerby you encounter seemingly by chance. Nothing is random. There are no false steps. Each place you stand along the way, you stand atop my body. My arms are its rivers. My breasts are its valleys. My voice will guide you. My face is a map of the world. So have no fear. Nothing is random. An interesting way to think. I always just take it in as a contemplation. But interesting that we spent time on the lower body and standing and working with our feet. And it says, the firmness of the ground beneath your feet is the point of your path. You know, so understanding that our path is each step, and one step at a time, one breath at a time. Breathing in, I am a flower and I feel fresh. Breathing in, I am a flower, and breathing out, I am fresh. Breathing in, I'm a mountain, and breathing out, I am strong and confident. Breathing in, I am still water, and I reflect things as they are, and I'm calm. Breathing in, I am space. Breathing out, I am free. Back to the heart of gratitude. Let it go out to your fingertips and down to your toes. Using your imagination, inspiration, intuition, and integration. See this gratitude sparkling, going down into every part of your body. See the flowers, see the mountains, see the lakes, and see space. This is who you are. Then bring your hands to your heart. And feel this universal mudra called prayer position. Then with pinkies and thumbs, open up the fingers and shine the light on your face as though you could take it from your heart, up from the earth, take it from the heart, let the heart open wide to gratitude and shine it onto your face. And know this is the face of all that is. This is the face of the universe. This is the quantum field. And bring a smile to your face and just, no one's looking. You might feel silly, but the smile, bring the smile from your heart up to your face. Let it touch your third eye and go out into the universe. Send out that smile to all beings and the earth and all of the planets, our whole galaxy, all the seen and the unseen. May we have peace, and may what we do here go out on this planet, out into the galaxy and into the universe, and make more peace. Peace, shalom, salam, pak, shanti, pache, mir, maluhia, freedom, hang sang. All languages sounded at one time. Music. Then inhale and exhale the arms open, relax again. Lengthen out the legs. So wherever you are, you're just releasing the legs first. Notice how both legs feel after that practice. Give them a little shake. Remember, you're actually working with the fascia when you shake. You're mostly water. Roll over to the right or the left, whichever side is best for you. Find fetal posture, maybe. Rest on your side. Press into the hands and come up. Feel the body settle, because remember, you're water. Gravity is going to pull your cells. Gravity is going to pull the water in your body in a slightly different position. Then up onto the hands and knees. Or however you get up. Actually, for me, I think I was almost going to go downward dog, but here, I'm going to bring my 1 foot back.